Hi, babes. Welcome back to the Chase Life with Kelly podcast. Guys, last week we took a break. Thank you for your patience and being okay with that. But we're back. We're back rolling. I went to the British Virgin Islands to Necker Island last week. Oh my gosh, that was so lovely. I am really having a difficult time, transitioning back into this reality of what my life is right now, because that was just so stellar. It was incredible. And I am forever grateful for my friend for inviting me to go on that trip. Pivoting, so I binge watched Ginny and Georgia, the latest season, and I'm not gonna like say any spoilers, but if you've watched it, Maxine, the character Maxine, who is Marcus, the character Marcus's sister, they're twins. Um, there was there was a really big scene in one of the later episodes for season 3 where she is like she's breaking down because she's so overwhelmed. She doesn't feel seen, she doesn't feel heard, she doesn't feel like people care about her or love her or think anything of her. Her friends are kind of going around her back. Her family is going through a really difficult time and she is like trying to be strong for everybody, and she's like, I can't be strong anymore, I just can't, like, what about me, kind of thing. And she was just like, I'm not okay. And I resonated with that so hard. Years ago I had a conversation with family members, and very similarly, like, your problems were so big. And so when I would try to come to you with a problem or challenge, something I was going through I was struggling with, I was met before I could even get it off my chest. I was met with the conflict that was going on at the time. And therefore I would just suppress those thoughts and emotions and be like, think to myself, well, like, they're not as important as that. It's not as big of a deal as that. So like, I'm just going to suppress. And I did. And yes, I probably like wrote it out in journaling or talked to friends about it and that kind of thing. But you sometimes just need your mom and dad. And yeah, I was crying like every single episode with Ginny and Georgia. So good. So many topics and emotional topics and very dramatic, like every episode was. Um, from eating disorder to substance abuse to obviously, what's going on with them, self-harm, like all these things. And then the family dynamic, the PTSD from, the events that have happened in that show. Like, it is just wild. It was crazy. I was just yeah, but I was resonating really hard. And even with some of the other characters' narratives, I was resonating with just from like the feeling of I don't know, low self-love and low self-worth and not really loving yourself. And I just wanted to like hug these people and I don't know, just like parenting, like reparenting yourself. And anyways, it was just a thing for me. So if highly recommend that you watch it. If you have not started watching Ginny and Georgia season 3 or Ginny and Georgia at all, it is on Netflix. Highly recommend. It's really wild. I binged it until 4 o'clock this morning, I think, or yesterday morning. But anyways, I don't have a lot to talk about on this episode. But I did hear something. I have been listening some things that I've been doing recently. I really haven't shared my whole like Bible story with you guys. I will have to do that at some point. But I got a Bible back in March, was it? Yeah, March. I got a Bible, and it's just a lot has been going on, and I felt called to explore reading the Bible based on foundational principles that I have come to, I guess, um, hear and be taught with Maddie, my mentor. She teaches a lot on what she calls like, she's like, get in the God zone, or the God laws, the laws of God, aka somewhat universal laws. So it's been really just interesting and fascinating. Again, I'll have to talk about that at another time, but um, I've just been listening to some like prayers in the morning on YouTube, and also a guy named David Bayer. similar like mindset, subconscious reprogramming, law of attraction, manifestation conversations as like Abraham Hicks, if you're familiar with Abraham Hicks. And it's been very interesting. Like I'll like when I'm showering, getting ready in the morning, that kind of thing, I will listen to, well, I'll listen to prayer in the morning. That just happened like 2 days ago, but I'll listen to the prayer. I started doing that. And then, but David Bear I've been listening to for the last few weeks, and I've really just enjoyed his content. And anyways, highly recommend David Bayer, Bayer. Highly, highly recommend consuming that. It will start to change things. And again, the beautiful thing, oh, this is what he said. Which of course I do this work all the time, but it's like sometimes you just got to hear it over and over again and then it'll click. But it really has been, everyone's like, leave the how, like cast your desires out there to the world and leave the how up to God, universe, right? And so, but he said it so well that I think it like really, like, I don't know, there was just like a shift for me. But he basically said, cast your desires out there into the world. Don't worry about the how. But like the more that you let go of those limiting beliefs, the more that you work on yourself and your self-love and you line your actions to what you're desiring, like the how just comes. Like don't worry about that though. Like don't say, I want a new job and then be like, but how am I going to get it? What do I need to do? Like, how am I going to do that? How is a job going to come? Or I'm looking for a new relationship or whatever, or, I desire a boyfriend, but how, I'm working all the time. I'm doing this. Like, no, leave it up to the frequency, the vibration, basically, to let that come into your field. Like me going to the British Virgin Islands, okay? I did say a few months ago, I was like, maybe I would want to go to the British Virgin Islands for my birthday, for my 40th birthday. And anyways, I just kind of threw it out there. And what happened? God sent me a trip to go to the British Virgin Islands, right? Like I didn't think about the how. I was just like, okay, that's like somewhere I would like to go, blah, 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 blah. It was just whatever. It was just neat. Maybe this stuff is like woo woo, and you're probably like, no, Kelly, that was just a coincidence. But I don't think so. I think God just works in your favor. And like, but I practice so much gratitude that I feel that with the gratitude presencing me, bringing me back to like center, regulating my nervous system, all of that, that it's extremely, that's how, quote unquote, it happens. Like you're vibrating at a different frequency, and all of your desires are at these frequencies. And so when you're starting to meet these different frequencies, vibrational frequencies, you're in the like, that's where your desires are. Anyways, that's all I'm saying. So don't worry about the how. But I really, really liked his stuff. And then I listened to another thing where it says like, don't do affirmations because your ego, your psyche, like if you're saying like, I am so healthy and fit, I am full of love, I am a money magnet, your little psyche and ego is like, no, you're not, no, you're not, no, you're not. And like, that's the thing on narration. Granted, I will say, and what I teach obviously is through constant repetition or sudden impact. That's how we learn things. So over time, if you were saying, I'm healthy, I'm healthy, I'm healthy every single day and taking aligned actions, of course, you're going to get healthier, right? But just saying. Anyways, so I do believe that affirmations do work. And what this guy was suggesting is to say it as if it's already there. Like how lucky am I to be living such a healthy lifestyle, to be so fit and tone and my body feeling so good and I feel so young and energetic and all of that. Like, how can you be like, ask yourself the question, and then basically you're going to reverse engineer from there and those are your affirmations, basically. Like you're going to reverse engineer. Okay, well, how am I fit and healthy? Well, because I've been going to the gym 6 times, or I've been moving my body 6 days a week. I've been eating really healthy. I cut out all processed foods. I, reduced drinking alcohol. And so you answer the questions as if you already are fit and healthy. And then you start, okay, well, she did six days a week of movement. Let's start doing 6 days a week of movement, and you start aligning your actions with those responses, basically. I just thought that was so profound and I loved it. So I thought I would share it with you all. So anyways, I would love to invite you into my 2 different programs. I have the Money Magnet, which is all about law of attraction, money mindset, obviously letting go of limiting beliefs, rewiring your subconscious to attract abundance and shift your money mindset, more or less, so that you do start attracting different opportunities. Money comes more easily to you, opportunities, you get more from like a fixed mindset to a growth and abundant mindset. And then I have also the Rejection to Redemption program, which is a 4-course module that is all about self-love, healthy boundaries, loving yourself, remembering who you are and what you are desiring, and getting out of this like icky, sticky energy of low self-worth and lack. So those are 2 beautiful digital courses. You can do them at your own pace. You can do them separately, whichever one you feel more called to do, where you feel like you need it at this time. You need help with like self-love and relationships and self-worth. Go to the Rejection to Redemption. You need help with like money mindset and retraining your brain and your self-worth. Really, your self-worth on this one is doing the money mindset or the money magnet, excuse me, that one. Additionally, you could do them both at the same, not at the same time, but you could do them both. There is a bundle. It's my Goddess Magic bundle. So Goddess Magic course bundle, where you can buy the bundle and then you get both courses for a discounted rate. So something to look forward to there. Another thing is I want to open up the floor for some private one-on-one coaching. Would love, life coaching, mindset coaching, wherever you are feeling that you could use some support right now. Life, love, career, health, all of that. I want to be that resource for you. So if you are interested, shoot me a DM, or you can email me, of course, too, but shoot me a DM on Instagram. That's probably the best way to go about things. And just say, hey, Kyle, I've listened to your podcast episode. I'm really interested in one-on-one coaching, and we can go from there. But I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to have a really awesome guest on the podcast very soon. And start getting some more guests back on. But I love the conversation. I just like having conversations with other humans. So I'm going to do a little bit more guest episodes, intertwined with the solos, of course, too. But anyways, I love you guys. If you want to dive into those courses, go to my show notes or my website, chaselifewithkelly.com, and check that out. And I love y'all. Have a great week. Bye.